Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about division patterns with decimals. You can follow along in your Go Math book, Unit 4.1, or page 155. Okay, a quick review with patterns of multiplication. So multiply by a whole number, it will get bigger. The decimal moves to the right by ever how many zeros are in the number being multiplied. So there are 3 zeros in 1,000. It moves 3 zeros to the 3 place values to the right. Multiplied by a decimal, it will get smaller. So however many place values after the decimal, if there's 2, it'll move to the left 2 places. Okay, gonna work on a problem together. The Healthy Wheat Bakery uses 560 pounds of flour to make 1,000 loaves of bread. Each loaf contains the same amount of flour. How many pounds of flour are used in each loaf of bread? You can use place value patterns to help you find quotients. Dividing by 10, 100, or 1,000, or 1,000 is the same as multiplying by 1/10, 100th, or 1,000th. I apologize for yawning. If I stop the video, I may never get it to record again. Okay, so underline the sentence that tells you what you are trying to find. How many pounds of flour are used in each loaf of bread? So circle the numbers needed. 560 and 1,000. So we're going to divide 560 by 1,000. And we're going to divide, the reason why it's 560 by 1,000, because that's how much flour we have divided by the amount of loaves. Okay, so look at the pattern. So 560 times 1 equals 560. 560 divided by 1 is 560. 560 times 1/10 is 56. 560 divided by 10 equals 56. And the pattern is the same as you divide by 100, 100, 1,000, and 1,000. So 56 hundredths pounds of flour is used in each loaf of bread. As you divide by 10, 100, and 1,000, how does the position of the decimal point change in the quotient? You might pause this to discuss with your friends, with your class, your neighbors. Okay, the quotient will become smaller with each zero, and it is how many place values it will get smaller. Okay, pause this video and try working it on your Go Math book. Okay, now that you're back, let's check your work. So we know that 32 and 6/10 divided by 1 will be itself. Divided by 10 is 3 and 26 hundredths. Divided by 100 is 326 thousandths. 150 and 2/10 divided by 1 is itself. Divided by 10 is 15 and 2 hundredths. Divided by 100 would be 1 and 502 thousandths. Okay. So Liang used 25 and 5/10 pounds of tomatoes to make a large batch of salsa. He used 1/10 as many pounds of onions as pounds of tomatoes. He used 1/100 as many pounds of green peppers as pounds of tomatoes. How many pounds of each of the ingredients did Liang use? So we're connecting. Divide by 10 is the same thing as multiplying by 1/10 or finding 1/10 of a number. So again, we're going to underline the sentence that tells us what we're trying to find. how many pounds of each ingredient Liang is using. He's trying to find how many onions and how much green peppers. Gonna circle the numbers. 25 and 5/10. 1/10, because we're going to divide it by 1/10 to find out how much onions. Then we're going to divide it by 100 to find out how much green peppers. And so if we continue to follow that pattern, so we know that divided by 1 is itself, 25 and 5/10 divided by 10 is 2 and 55/100. It moved to the left one place value. So that's how much onions is going to be used in the recipe. So now we're going to go to the peppers. Now they're divided by 1 is the same. Divided by 10 is going to be 2 and 55/100. But we still need to divide it by 100 to find out. So divided by 100 gives us 0 and 255 thousandths pound of green peppers. So very little amount of green peppers. So Liang used 25 and 5/10 of tomatoes, 2 and 55/100 pounds of onions, and 255 thousandths pound of peppers. Now it is your turn to do number 3 and number 4 on page 156, or in your guided practice, in the school on Schoology, or in your Go Math book.